Today we are discussing winter sowing. This may be a concept with which many of you are not familiar. The idea behind winter sowing is to set seeds out in small plastic containers during the winter, when it is still too cold for them to actually sprout. By using the plastic containers, you are creating a microclimate that is somewhat warmer than the outside temperature and allowing the seeds to get a jump start on the season as spring rolls around. This process also prevents the need to harden off plants to get them adjusted to being outside. This is my second year doing winter sowing. Last year I even got tomatoes to grow using this method. But this year I stuck mostly with cold hardy crops. So let's look at the methodology step by step. First, find a suitable container. You want something that is clear plastic and is large enough for some soil and for the plant to grow. I mostly use milk jugs, but large gallon-sized clear water bottles or juice bottles also work well. Step 2. Poke holes in the bottom of your container. The tops of these containers are going to be open to allow in moisture from rain or snow. The soil needs to drain well so that the bottle does not flood. Step 3. Cut open the container. I like to leave the handle on milk jugs intact so that it will hold everything together, and it sort of creates a hinge. Step 4. Add soil. I use compost, but a normal potting soil should work well as well. Step 5. Plant seeds. How many seeds and the appropriate spacing for your plants will vary based upon what you are growing, but use good judgment. These plants will be growing in here until you are ready to transplant, probably a couple of weeks after your last frost. For larger plants like tomatoes or peppers, I am comfortable with as many as 4 seeds spread on each of the 4 corners of the container. For smaller seeds such as greens, you can sow even thicker. Step 6. Add water. If you are putting these out close to when you want them to start germinating, you will want to make sure the soil is well moistened. Step 7. Use duct tape to close the container. You want to try to seal this as best you can. Step 8. Use a permanent marker to label the outside of the container. I suggest writing on the duct tape. Put a label inside of the container. I use popsicle sticks. Step 9. Place the plant outside. While this technique can be used any time of the year when you want to create a microclimate a bit warmer and more humid than the surrounding air, when winter sowing you should generally put plants out before your last hard frost. By hard frost, I mean a period of more than 4 hours where the temperature is less than 25 degrees. Some people will let their winter sowing stay outside through most of the winter, but in climates where you have some particularly warm spells which are followed by hard frosts, the warming may trigger germination and then kill your plants in the frost. If I am planning to put my winter sowing containers out early, I often skip the watering step after planting the seeds to help prevent the early trigger of germination. As you are getting close to the last hard frost, and in the days that follow, you will want to make sure that your containers are getting moisture. Early spring often is a pretty moist period, so you may not have to supplementally water, but keep an eye on your precipitation during that period. This year I planted snow peas, beets, rutabagas, spinach, and turnips using this method. Tomorrow I will show you how they all did and if they're ready for transplant. I also am planting our golden crispy melon today, using this method, and will let you know in the future episodes how it does. Have you ever done winter sowing? Let me know in the comments below what you like or dislike about the method. Are there any varieties that just don't seem to work for you when you try to use winter sowing? If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button below. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, please subscribe for more videos like this and updates on these and other crops as the growing season progresses.